down to South Carolina, Fort Wagner. It's a beautiful statue. You can enter the Massachusetts State House through the General Hooker's entrance right there. They have free tours Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Beautiful building. Mary Dyer is right here sitting in front of the building, statue of her. She's a Quaker. Now the Puritans left England seeking religious freedom. Mary Dyer and the Puritans did not get along. She wanted her religion, they wanted their religion. They battled back and forth. 3 times the Puritans kicked Mary Dyer out of the state of Massachusetts. 3 times Mary Dyer walked back from Rhode Island. The 3rd time she came back, they hanged her out on Boston Common. Because of Mary Dyer, we have freedom of religion in this country. She is a hero. Check out the Firefighters Memorial. On the opposite side of that, we have a law enforcement memorial. Those that have given their lives in the line of duty in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. If you take a look right here beside us, 122 Bowdoin Street on the right-hand side. This is the legal residence of John F. Kennedy. When he became a congressman, he needed a residence up here in this district. So he rented an apartment at 122 Bowdoin Street. The day that he was assassinated in Dallas, on his license it said 122 Bowdoin Street. This was always his legal residence when he was in political office. We're coming down the north slope of Beacon Hill. We have a lot going on up here today. Prior to the Civil War, this is where most free black citizens lived and worked. This is also one of the locations for the Underground Railroad. Now, the slaves would escape slavery down south. They would make their way up north, eventually heading up to Canada, where they would become free citizens. Now, they needed places to hide out during the daytime. They would always travel at night, and the bounty hunters were always right behind them. They would seek refuge up here. There was one man in particular. He would bring them into his home. He would give them food, shelter, and a safe place to stay. He always had gunpowder all around the front door of his home. He always had kegs of gunpowder at his feet. Anytime he came to the front door, he would always hold a lit candle in his hand. When the bounty hunters would come and knock on the door, he would say, "You can come in and search my home. But if you do, I'm going to drop the candle on the ground and no one is getting out alive." Go figure. They never searched his home. That's the way they rolled up here on the north side of Beacon Hill, the North Slope. Now, it's a great neighborhood. I encourage people to walk through the neighborhood and see what's up there. The architecture designs from the 17th and 18th century, it is amazing up there. Look at the side street up there, pretty nice, isn't it? All right. Now, I'm not really sure what was going on in the 1960s, because the form of architecture that those architects gave us in the 60s, to me, it's brutal to look at. It's called brutalism right over here beside us on the right-hand side. This is called corduroy concrete. Some of you may recognize it from the movie The Departed. Leonardo DiCaprio, he actually ran up and down the sidewalk here. In the front of the building, he went up and down the staircase. This, for that movie, was State Police Headquarters. It's really, really not appealing to me at all. Now, the architect, he would hide things in his buildings. This architect hid a giant frog. When we go by it, I'm going to show you where it is. It's up in the front of the building. It's very, very large. Look at the staircase. See the white sign? Look directly above the staircase on that white sign. Check it out. You guys see a giant frog? Look at the staircase. There's a white sign in the middle of the staircase. Look directly above the white sign. It's a giant frog, 2 big eyes and a mouth. Come on, people, you finding it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Did you ladies see it? Right there. Right there it is. Now, I have 2 questions about the architects. Number 1, I don't want you to answer the first question. What in the world were the architects doing in the 1960s? Don't want the answer for that. Number 2, Those of you that did see that giant frog, don't you think that architect was a little bit beyond his time? Doesn't that look like Bart Simpson to you guys? Yeah? If I painted it yellow, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, look at it. You can see it from here. Once you see it, you never unsee it. Never, ever, ever. We're going through the West End section of Boston. At one time, there were tons of tenement buildings here with many, many immigrants from all over the world. The city of Boston founded valuable land, so they actually displaced all the residents, took down the buildings, and put condos and government buildings all around us. A very tough time in the city's history. Right over my right-hand side, this is the Leonard P. Zakim Bunker Hill Memorial Bridge. This is a cable stay bridge. The cable stays resemble the tall ships that used to come into the port of Boston. Boston was a huge seaport in the early days, during the Revolutionary times and a little bit beyond. It also pays tribute to the Bunker Hill Monument, which is located over in Charlestown. Ah, there it is. The mighty Charles River. She's actually very calm. She's not mighty. She's awesome. We'll be going in there in a couple of minutes. As soon as we get around the bridge. We're going underneath the Lechmere Viaduct right now. This is an awesome structure that was built in 1910. If you notice the arches, we're going underneath one of the arches. If you notice all the way down river to my right, look at all the way down river to my right. They have arches the whole way. The architect designed it so that the people could stand on the dam and appreciate Boston Harbor. Yeah, birds live here too. But they also arched it the whole way down. Is it a live bird? Are you pointing out to me? Like a pigeon? Oh, it's on the beam. Okay. I see, what I see is the light shining down through the railroad tracks. This is a railroad bridge. And it reflects the water. It's such a beautiful structure. Such a beautiful structure. I'm going to time out for a water break. Hydrate, people. All right, so the young lady up front noticed that I have honeybees all over my water bottle. She said she likes it. I happen to be a beekeeper. That's one of my passions in life.
No threads, yeah.
Any beekeepers on board? It keeps water really, really cold. So that's why I like it. But I'm a honey beekeeper. Eat local honey. It's good for you. All right. Off in the distance, underneath the first arch, you're going to see the Bunker Hill Monument. Check it out over there in Charlestown. It is a free structure. Probably not open today because it is so hot out. Off to the left-hand side, we have the Museum of Science. This is where science comes alive. This is one of our duck stop locations. The second duck stop location. The third duck stop location is over at the New England Aquarium. Now, the New England Aquarium is an awesome place. They have a 4-story tank. The creature that I find the most fascinating, her name is Myrtle. She's a turtle. She weighs 500 pounds. She is 90 years old, and her diet is Brussels sprouts and lettuce. Somebody's not telling us the truth. Brussels sprouts and lettuce, and she's 500 pounds. How does that happen? Right? I don't think she uses salad dressing either, but somebody's not telling us the truth. All right. The Museum of Science has some really cool things to do. It's hot out today, so if you want to go cool off, it is air conditioned. That's one cool thing to do. The electricity show, see that dome right up above us? The electricity show is amazing. They have a Vanguard machine, and it shoots bolts of lightning. They have a huge, giant, looks like a bird cage that a person gets in. They close the door, the guy is in there waving, and they shoot bolts of lightning at it. He's fine. Awesome. The lightning is exciting, it's noisy, and it's shooting at this machine. He's in there waving, he's fine. Now he gets out, closes the door, and he's still fine. Nothing happened to him. So, have you ever heard of, thunder and lightning hitting a car? If you look over my shoulder, the right-hand side, the first building that they have right here, doesn't it look like they got it from IKEA? Origami. I hear a helicopter, I just didn't see it. We have the cover over our head. The Lynch Family Skateboard Park coming up on the right-hand side. Third largest skateboard park in the country. This place is amazing. There's a couple kids out now. I like when the little tykes are here because they use those plastic things on their head. What are those called? Helmets, yeah. When they become a certain age, you know, the mean ages, they shed those plastic shells. All right. So we're getting ready to go into the water. My man,
Here we go,
Ronnie, at the helm, is a licensed Coast Guard captain. I am his deckhand. In the event of an emergency, if either one of us tell you to put on life jackets, they're basically butt right above our heads. The ones that are over my head with a red tab are for people that are 90 pounds or under. Over Ronnie's head with a yellow tab, 90 pounds or over. If either one of us tell you to put on a life jacket, put them on. If we tell you to evacuate the vessel, everybody goes out the windows. We have never had to evacuate a vessel in 25 years, but we need to talk about it anyway. Okay, so we're going in. The prop is engaged. 5 seconds on the horn. Here we go, man. Woohoo!
We're in the water lift. Look. Look there.
We have many forms of communication on this vessel. I just turned on the two-way radio that we can talk to the Coast Guard or the State Police. We have a Nextel radio we can communicate with any of the ducks on the water or our dispatchers. Everybody has a cell phone, I'm assuming. All right, we have a life ring over our head up front. There's another life ring on the outside, back side of the duck. We have 2 fire extinguishers, one at my feet, one underneath the back seat of the duck. We have a fire suppression unit upstairs, up front here. All right, welcome to the lower basin of the Charles River. Again, this river starts out in Hopkinton, Massachusetts. It meanders 80 miles down to Boston Harbor, which is right directly behind us. Underneath that little railroad bridge right there. Underneath the Leonard P. Zaga Bunker Hill Memorial Bridge. And behind that is the new lock and dam system, the building that's right out back there. Any vessels coming upriver need to go, or downriver, need to go through the lock and dam system to get out to Boston Harbor. You'll notice that there's many different waterfowl all around us. Seagulls, double-crested cormorants, Canadian geese. There are also 35 different species of fish that live underneath us. If the river at one time was very, very dirty and polluted. But with the work of many state, local, and federal agencies, including the Charles River Cleanup Association and the Charles River Cleanup Boat and the Charles River Watershed Association, we are now the cleanest urban river in the country. So we have come a long, long way from the early days of the 60s when the Standells sang about the dirty river of Charles River. This is now rated between an A- and a B+. We are very, very proud of that fact. And in the very near future, they're going to be putting swimming docks in the water so people can swim on the river. Isn't the Leechmere Viaduct beautiful? Very, very cool structure. We're going through the old lock and dam system in just a minute. Back in the olden days, the boats would all tie up to this area right here, and they would wait their turn to get upriver into the lock and dam system. This is similar to the Panama Canal, this setup. I feel like it's a helicopter above us. Yeah, they fly around all the time. Yeah. All right, we're going underneath the Craigie Drawbridge right here. That's the noise that you hear above us, the vehicles that are above us. Now you're going to see over on the left-hand side this steel door. They no longer do this, but this steel door used to come across and close, tie up on either side on the ballads. Downriver behind us, there's another steel door that would also close. The boats would tie up, and they would pump water in or pump water out, depending on which side of the river you were going in or out of. It's kind of embarrassing when everybody quacks at the geese with the quackers.
Hey.
They feel embarrassed.
Did you see them?
Did you notice the beautiful flowers that were donated by Home Depot? A lot of my colleagues and myself, we came out on a Thursday morning and we cleared this whole thing. There was trees that were almost coming over our head. So we came out here with all our gear and cleaned it up a little bit, made it look a little bit nicer. 5 seconds on the horn. A little water to hydrate, but it's also a safety feature that we do. Anytime going around a blind corner, we lay on